Charleston Hughes. Welcome back to the show. Charleston, somebody said you're in an airport.
Yeah, right now I'm in an airport box. Like it's something called a Jabari box where you private, conversations and private phone calls, private messages. So I just signed up for it. It's my first time in here, and it's actually not bad.
All right.
Well, good. I like the backdrop. It's nice. Yeah.
Where are you headed? Are you going on vacation? Like, what's up?
Oh, I wish, man. I'm going to Detroit. Yeah, I'm going to Detroit. My daughter has a soccer game to go to, so got to take her to a soccer showcasing, display her skills.
Nice.
Now, I'm not sure. I saw some on Instagram today in Detroit, some of those neighborhoods that have been flooded that are covered in ice. Have you seen that as well?
Yeah, it's pretty bad, man. It's one of those ice storms, especially in Michigan. There's like one a year, every single year. It rains and then it snows and then it's dropped below freezing temperatures and then everything's ice. And I was people that have been out of power in Michigan for I think we were out of power for maybe 10 days with no electricity. And it was bad, man, where we had to take all the food out of the fridge, put it in containers and keep it outside so it could stay cold. And you had to buy propane heaters to stay warm at night. And yeah, you got to do what you can to survive. But it's good, survival skills.
In the big city of Detroit, those are the survival skills. Getting a cooler and a propane heater.
Oh yeah, and I didn't even live in Detroit at that time. I lived far away, like maybe an hour away from Detroit, but still, it was power outages all over the place.
Wow.
Last time we had you on the show, right at the time we were asking you about, is Micah Johnson going to re-sign with the Saskatchewan Roughriders? Your phone clicked off because Micah Johnson, we found out, was phoning you, and you came out and you had that giant smile and all of that. So obviously you knew, right? Like when we were talking, you knew, and they just hadn't announced it yet. But Micah's back. Do you like this move for Micah, just sticking around home here in Saskatchewan?
I did, man. You know what? I gave him some advice, based on how my last, Rough Rider kind of spurt went. Before I came back the second time, I left and went to Toronto. And I kind of told him the same thing, man. And it's like, look, man, you got to do what's best for you. But the thing is probably the worst mistake of my career was leaving Saskatchewan and going to play in, because it put me in a situation where I was with a bunch of new coaches. I was with guys who I really didn't know. But I love my teammates that I was there with. It was just I was around a bunch of coaches that I really didn't know like I thought I did, and it definitely didn't work out. So I just told them, you're on the back half of your career, the back end of your career. You kind of don't got a lot of play left, but you're playing at a high level where you can still steal a couple more years out of a team. I was like, it's best to stay where you're the most comfortable. And that's Charleston, the best advice I can give them at the time.
That's a great point. Does that apply to all positions across football, or is that really specific to the D-line? Do you think is that everybody's mantra or everybody's thought process as they go through that?
It's not, man. It just depends. It depends on age. It depends on a lot of different factors, man. When you're somebody like Geno Lewis, when you're the top player in the league at receiver, and hands down, you're an impact player. No matter what team you go to, you're going to change the game for that team. As long as the quarterback gets you the ball and the OC puts you in places that, you can make plays. I mean, he's an impact player, so that rule don't apply to him. It's like you go wherever you feel like you're going to have the biggest impact. You got a good quarterback chemistry, and you're going to get the most money.
That's what answers the bell, baby. That's what answers the bell.
Oh, yeah. If I'm going to play with a bad quarterback, I better get paid for it.
Well, and he may be stepping into that with Drew Brown. Now, I don't know. So we had Geno Lewis on the show on Friday. And Charleston, did you see or hear this? Apparently, Ed Hervey never talked to him and said, hey, I'm not re-signing you. And he kind of went off on a rant. Curtis, if you can pull it up. You don't got to play the whole thing, but you want to see him fired up. Geno Lewis, he's passionate because he was talking about it just being respect, especially because Ed played the position and wasn't an American as well, that he thinks he was at least owed a phone call to let him know. Now, when you became a free agent, you had to go through all of this. Were the teams that maybe you were leaving or not re-signing with, did they at least have a conversation with you, or was there dialogue back forth to know kind of like what your path may be?
I got a different approach, man, because I was kind of my own agent at one point in time, and I was kind of doing my own thing. I kind of forced the issue. I make you tell me no before I just wait for, the opportunity. So I kind of go out and I went to school to be an agent too. So I kind of knew exactly what to do and how to do it, and, the things to say to kind of get what I needed out of the situation. That's why, guys in the league can call me and ask me for advice that are, kind of doing their own thing without an agent. And, I'll shoot them straight and give them exactly how I feel they should go about the situation. And yeah, I've been in his shoes before, where you don't hear nothing, you don't hear a peep. So you just gotta go up there and close the door.
Now, Charleston, one of the last times you and I saw each other personally, we were playing crokinole out of my buddy's place north of town, and I know there's not a pro crokinole league, at least one that I'm aware of at this point that pays any money. Is there any thought of you becoming an agent through all this? Is there any thought of you taking that adventure and exploring that?
I've thought about it, man, and people like Corey Mace and Devon Claybrooks, and there's a lot of people who actually kind of voiced to me that is a opening that I should, try to take in the league, especially because I'm well known, all throughout the CFL, and I got good relationships with GMs and the players. But at this point, I'm kind of happy where I am, man. I'm satisfied with what I'm doing right now, the growth that I'm having, the success that I'm having. It'd be hard for me to kind of walk away from this.
I hear you.
Okay. So speaking of Mace, we chatted with him yesterday, and we asked about, the team and free agency, but I said, I want to hop in a CFL time machine and go back to the 2014 Calgary Stampeders when Corey Mace was just a player. Now, the Riders won the Grey Cup in 2013. I probably don't need to remind you of that, but this was sort of the decade of dominance for the Stamps. All right, so 2014, you're back with a vengeance. You're 15-3, and then you win the Grey Cup. And then I'm like, I want to see who is on defense with Charleston. Josh Bell, Frank Beltray, Freddie Bishop, Yannick Carter, DeQuinn Evans, Jeff Hecht, Micah Johnson, Sean Lemon, Glenn Love, Keon Raymond, Lynn Jason, Jawan Simpson, Brandon Smith. It almost doesn't seem fair how talented you guys were. I asked him the same question. What made that group so special? Outside of talent, what made it so special where it just all clicked for you guys?
Really, because the amount of talent level that was on the field. And Brandon Smith, one of the, all-time Stamp legends over there. Me and him used to have conversations. He was my roommate at one point in time for many years. And we used to have conversations like, this team is so talented that I don't even want to take a break from practice, even if I'm hurting. I don't want to take a break from practice, and I don't want to sit out in the game because the guy behind me is so good that if I let the coaches get a chance to see him at least play just a little bit, he'll probably take my job. So I'm like, so when you're put in a situation where you got so many guys that are that good on, and not only are we, as a starter, you're grooming these guys also. That was at a time where I was kind of grooming Sean Lemon to be the pass rusher that he became. And Frank Beltray, another guy that a lot of people don't really know about. He was a special teams guy who got a lot of opportunities to play on the field and played around the league. He was another guy. And Freddie Bishop, same thing, who went to the NFL. We had a lot of talent. A lot of players who could play the game, at a high level. And it was like our backups were starters on other teams 100%.
Nice group to play with, a nice group to be a part of. But you've had that in other places as well, right? I mean, there were some great players in Regina when you came here. Toronto, the team had success. Maybe you didn't have the same success that the team did. The team had success. So when you get that group together, what creates that? What creates that opportunity? Like some places it works, some places it doesn't. What gives that group the opportunity to be successful?
I think a lot of what it is team chemistry, man. When you get together with, a coaching staff and a group of players who kind of all know their role on the team, that's when everything meshes together real well. The difficult teams who have talented teams but still have trouble, winning games and trouble making it to the Grey Cup are the teams who always have conflict, inside the locker room, where one player thinks he should be playing over this player and one player thinks he should be playing over this player. You got to put the right, amount of, chemistry together where guys actually know their role on the team and, you're designated to this is my guy for right now. You guys got to work hard to earn that spot. Once you get away from that, platform or that system, then you're not managing the team very well.
So communication, you'd say communication right from the GM down is so critical to being successful.
It's communication from the GM down. Like, that's one thing that I did, love about Huffnagel. He didn't really beat around the bush. He shot everybody straight. He let you know what your role was on the team, let you know exactly what he's bringing you in for. And he was one of those guys where you can go, okay, if this is what I'm supposed to do, this is what I'm going to do. A lot of GMs, they don't treat players like that. They sell dreams and make wishes that they can't, or write checks that they can't cash.
Well, I had said yesterday when we were chatting about the Edmonton free agent situation, it's like Ed Hervey's at a nightclub and he's the guy in the booth and he's got bottle service and he wants everybody watching what he's doing and all that. But then there's some other teams just quietly in the corner having a drink, doing their business as well. The tab won't come due for the Eskimos until the end of the season. Do they make the playoffs? How far do they go if they make the playoffs? And then are a lot of these guys one and done, or do they stick around? That's probably the truest test of, and it's great to see the Riders, a lot of these guys that were free agents re-signing with the team, because we haven't always had that. We would find guys and then they would go, and we weren't always the sexy option to bring people in. We kind of had to finesse you and promise you not minus 53 with the wind chill winter weather and stuff like that. And that's where I think in Edmonton, you've bought a lot of players, but is there going to be the organic chemistry there of just fitting together like a team, which you said you need to have that success? And I think that the Riders, because of what they've been able to do over the past couple of years, have enough of those guys. Would you say you got to care about the guy next to you, not only on the field, but the locker to succeed? Like, you really genuinely have to care about the other guys on the team.
100%, man. You got to put trust. It's all about trust. You got to trust the guy next to you. You got to trust, the linebacker, behind you, that he's going to make the play. You got to have chemistry. The success that I've had, in playing in the CFL was 100% because of the guys that I played with next to me and outside of me, and I trusted everybody that was around me. I trusted Brandon Smith was going to get to where he needed to get to if I decided to take a gamble. I've reached back and turned around and talked to Cam Judge and said, "Hey, Cam Judge, you got to hold the edge because I'm going to shoot it and make a move." And he's just go. He'll just tell me, just go. So when you got communication with players like that, where you can let them know that, hey, I'm going to gamble right here. Can you got my back? And they'll say, yeah, I got you. Just go. Man, that's the kind of communication. That's the kind of relationship you got to have in the locker room where you can talk to your teammates that way in the heat of the moment.
Okay. Last.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go, Matt.
Oh, no, I was going to say, last time we had you on, because we didn't get political, but we went down the path and you told us that your CFL pension is in Canadian dollars. Obviously, it's a Canadian football league, and that we wanted the dollar to go up like everybody does because you're heavily vested. Tonight, there's a big hockey game. Canada, America. I'm not sure if you saw what happened on Saturday. And then tonight, this Four Nations go, okay. So you do have an opinion. Charleston Hughes, give it take your football analyst hat off, put your hockey analyst hat on. What happens tonight in Boston?
I'm not even gonna pick a side right now. I'm not even gonna go there. I'm just gonna say that, may the best team win.
Oh, come on. Come on. Give us something.
Who's got Charleston's pension? We need to talk to somebody right now. He's sitting on the fence. He won't give us an opinion. That's not
something.
Charleston Hughes.
May the best team win. I feel like I'm right here talking to somebody from TSN, maybe Claire Hanna, and telling her, like, nope, I'm not giving you nothing. I'm just saying let the best team win.
In what world does Sharky and I look like Claire Hanna? Claire Hanna is going to be mortified if this ever gets back to her that you compared her to us.
Yeah, you're not going to get any interviews with Claire Hanna after this. I'll tell you that right now.
Man, I'm pretty sure she don't want to interview me no more anyways.
So are you going to be flying then? Are you going to miss this game because you'll be in flight, or will you be in Detroit when you get will you be there for game time?
I'll probably catch the tail end of it. Yeah.
Are you flying first class, business class, coach? How does Charleston Hughes travel these days?
Oh, I'm in the comfy seats. What they say, comfort zone.
So that's not
did
crashing.
You not work?
It's not crashing, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Just a little bit of extra leg room.
Yeah. Did you work the magic at the check-in counter to try and get that upgrade to see if there was any room in business at no extra charge?
But I do got points to do that, but I just want to save them for right now.
Okay. Yeah. You didn't drop any stats about being one of the all-time sack leaders in the CFL to the gate attendant behind the counter?
I wonder would Delta even honor that. Maybe I should talk to Delta about this.
Aren't they even know?
Air Canada?
Yeah. They should be able to. They should be able to bump you up. Yeah, they should be able to fit you to a better spot than that.
Oh, surprisingly, I got my Grey Cup rings with me right now too, so I should just put them on and just walk to the gate and shake a hand. Hello.
So speaking of Grey Cup rings, I don't know if you saw this story, and I don't know if Al or Curtis can track this down. I think it was on Kitchen Nightmare last night with Gordon Ramsay. It's a former Calgary Stampeder that's on there competing, and he had his Grey Cup ring. Yes. Yes, he was on there with his Grey Cup ring.
I know. I seen it, man. I was so excited for him, man, because I know he's been doing the recording and the cooking thing for a while. And he actually called and told me he was going to be on the show. And I told him, you better give me a shout out talking to Gordon Ramsay and tell him I can cook better than him. But he yeah. I was going there. I'm competitive, man. I was going straight to the jugular. But you know what? I'm excited for him. I'm happy for Renfro, man. That was a great experience for him. And I hope it leads to more.
Charleston, you do get on the show. What's your go-to? What are you making that's going to impress Gord Ramsay?
If I get on there and what I'm going to make Ramsay, I would make a beef rouladen.
Nice. Any special tips you want to give us, folks at home? A little more skill. Maz knows I enjoy a little cooking. That's why I'm asking this question. So, yeah. Any special tips?
Any special tips for beef rouladen?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You really got to take your time, and it takes like slow cooking. Takes using a good beef broth, a good organic beef broth, and make sure you pick out a really high quality pickle.
I was going to ask, because my mother-in-law makes rouladen and the pickles, and she'll put carrots in there as well. Now, I'm not sure if you go down that path, but she says that you can't buy the Clausen pickles anymore, or the Clausen pickles that she likes anymore. So the rouladens haven't tasted the same the past couple of years because the pickles are off.
See, you got to pick a high-quality pickle. I'm telling you, man, it makes the difference when you're making rouladen.
So not my homemade pickles is what you're telling me.
I don't know, man. I never had one.
It's 2025. Nobody wants you showing up giving away homemade food. No, that's
Yeah,
the way
man.
we used to live in Saskatchewan. No, not anymore.
That pheasant pot pie I make is so good. So good.
No.
Homemade pastry
No.
every time. Oh,
I know, man.
delicious.
He's talking about his homemade pickles. I would say I want to try your pickle, but I don't know. It don't sound right.
All
will
right.
set you up.
Well, Charleston, we'll let you get to the Delta Lounge so you can get at least a drink in and maybe a little snack before first boarding call. Travel safe. Let's do this again in a couple of weeks. And as always, next thing you know, you'll be yelling at Gordon Ramsay because just that's how it seems to work. It's funny. He'll take on Gordon Ramsay, but he won't give us a prediction on the score in the hockey game.
Yeah.
Charleston, Switzerland, Hughes. He's staying neutral, ladies and gentlemen. He offers no
neutral.
prediction. Staying neutral.
No.
All right.
I'll give you 6 goals.
Yeah, I took the under.
But I won't tell you how many for who.